You're listening to European Startup Universe Talks, a podcast where we meet with startup founders, angel investors, and major stakeholders of the European startup ecosystem. They let us in on the do's and don'ts of running a startup, their career story, and the process of succeeding as well as failing. In other words, everything of interest to startup nerds. European Startup Universe is a massive network of opportunities for EU tech startup founders, connecting them with the best minds of the EU tech community, with unicorn founders, known investors, and experts. We have brought together European countries to join forces and launch startup programs suitable for their nation's tech founders. ESU aims to give access to opportunity for funding and expansion across EU countries. Welcome to European Startup Universe Talks. I'm Maritza, and today I am here with Saïd Hamdani. Welcome to today's episode.
Thank you, Maritza. I'm happy to be with you today.
Happy to have you. I would like us to begin with, can you tell me how your career started?
Yes, of course. So first of all, I did an engineering school in Algiers. Where I learned, so it was not an engineering degree only, but it was kind of management and engineering. So it was kind of both fields. So I didn't specialize in electronics or any technical fields because I wanted to be like more general and be able to work on any fields. So I chose a specialization that was more general. So it was general engineering, and at the end of the school of my degree, I started on as a consultant at a consulting firm that was specialized in business intelligence and performance management. So mainly it was software to help companies create their own dashboards and manage their performance. So this was the start of my career. And during this first professional experience, we had to do a lot of commercial effort to find the clients because it was a new consulting firm based in Algiers. So it was, they had multiple offices everywhere in the world, but in Algiers, they were new. So we had to do a lot of commercial effort. And when dealing with our potential customers, we found out that they have already some needs, some problematics, but they didn't express them clearly. So maybe other specialized companies or consulting firms can address them. So here I had the idea to have a platform where those companies can express their needs easily, and then consulting firms or other providers can answer by quotations or propositions. Okay. So that was the idea I had. And then I started my first company with a friend of mine. Our goal was to create this platform to connect buyers and sellers together. So we started with that, but we did also a lot of other projects on the side, mainly websites, platform development for clients, and we were developing our own platform on the side. So this is how it started, and after that we had to we split with with my co-founder. I created another company. I found other co-founders with me. And right now we have about 20 employees. So that's it.
And that is Rhinotenders that you're doing right now?
Yes, Exactly. So this is what I do, and I do also some kind of consulting work on the side also on data management. So I balance my work life between both activities.
What is it about this field that drew you in, that interested you?
First of all, it was a problematic that I was facing, like how to be able to easily find what my customers need, what are their needs, what are they looking for. So I told myself, if I had this platform where I can check multiple RFQs or requests for quotations from clients, it will be more easy for me to find potential clients. So first of all, that was a problematic that I was facing myself. So this is it. Second, I was always interested by data. So the field of data was something that was interesting for me. So that was naturally I went to this field where mainly what we do is data. We collect information and we provide it to our client. So it was natural for me.
Okay, yeah, I can imagine that is, if you have this passion about this, that it becomes natural to create something on your own with that.
Of course, it's more easy. So when you're passionate, it's more easy and it's more fun.
Yeah. Do you feel like being a startup founder, was it native in you, or was it more the interests of data and so on?
I could say it was not native. I can't say that because it's not something that you are born with. I think everything in life can be learned. So, but that's true that your environment can help you. For example, my father was an entrepreneur also, so that helped me to understand more aspects. But I don't think it's anything in life is not inherited or in you without learning it or developing it. So
yeah, that's good to hear. So that it's nothing that you either have or you don't have. So it's everything is learnable in life.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
What would you say has been the biggest challenge with the Rhinotenders so far?
Biggest challenge I had, I think, two times. So first challenge was split with my ex-co-founder. So that was a challenge I had. But then we made the things clear. So I continued on Rhinotenders. So that was clear, and we had no problem with that. That was the first challenge, to continue. The second challenge, I had to move from Algiers to Paris. So I changed the country. Then so I had to work on a remote as a remote, managing my team. So that was a really big challenge. So here I had to found other associates to help me on the task. So those are the two main challenges I faced till right now.
How has it been operating in these different, because it's different continents? How has the difference been?
So there was no time zone difference. So that was good for me. That was more easy. But of course, if you don't have management in place to manage the teams, it's really difficult to handle because it's not the same when you are remote and when you talk online and when you are directly at the office. Especially it was before COVID crisis. So the remote work was not generalized. So we didn't have the same tools that we have today. So today it's really more easy because everyone had to deal with this type of work. So I had to adapt. It was a lot of extra work, a lot of work during the night to check what is happening, to be aware of what is happening at the office. Especially you don't have all the details of what is happening, so you rely on your team members. Maybe they don't give you the full picture. So that was really challenging. Yes, but right now I think we have more experience, especially after the COVID. So we are more at ease with handling this type of hybrid work. So right now we have workers that are fully remote also, and it's not a problem. We are working with them. We have a right tool to manage people and to track the progress and the performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with all the tools that have been coming out and been shaped by the pandemic, it's way easier now for sure. What has been the best part of this startup journey?
Best part, I think, is knowing people, because when you are an entrepreneur, you had to deal a lot with people. Either it's your employees, people that you hire, your co-founders, your clients. So you are at the center of something that you are building, and you deal with a lot of people. So, some people become your friends. So I think it's the best part of it. You participate in different events where you can find other people that are in the same adventure as you, exchanging ideas, experiences. So that's the best part. Also, you are multitask. You are not on only one side. You do everything. So you learn about many aspects, how to deal with the people, marketing, sales, accounting, finance, so everything. So that's very good for me. I think it's the best part for me.
Yeah, absolutely. That you're able to learn so many different things. But would you say that there is a misconception about being a startup funder that you feel like people often get wrong?
Yes, I think two aspects. The first aspect is that you need to work very hard. I think that's true. You, as startup founder, you have to work very hard or extra from being a simple employee, but it's not sustainable on the long term. So you have to find a way for you to limit your work. Okay? So you don't have to work like 90 hours a week or 80 hours a week. That's not sustainable, and that's not your goal. Your goal is to create a system that will work for you and your team. So if you are doing this, you are on the wrong path. Find a way to automate things, to be less at your desk and enjoy your life also. So that's misunderstanding, I think, of how we see of startup founder. Yeah. Yes. Second thing, I think it's regarding success. My conception of life and success, it's not always depending on your work. Okay. you can work very hard, but success don't come, and it's okay because there's a lot of luck. You have to be lucky also to be successful. You can um, you can increase your chances by doing multiple things, by working hard. But sometimes maybe you are not simply on the right industry. You don't have the right product. Customers, you are not meeting the right customers. So sometimes you have to change things or pivot, and that's okay. So success is not always guaranteed.
Absolutely. I feel like that is a really valuable thing for people to know, because there is sometimes we say that if you work hard enough and if you want it hard enough, then it's going to work. That is not reality, really.
Yes, of course. Yes. Many people, I think it's kind of many people work hard, but don't succeed. It's not because they are not smart or they don't work hard. It's just maybe a set of variables that many of them we can't handle, we can't change. So that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes last time I read about an article from one of the co-founders of Facebook. It's not Mark Zuckerberg. So he was at the very start of Facebook. So he worked like 3 years, and he had like right now he have a fortune of 400 million euros, something like this. So, and in the article he said that it doesn't equal to the quantity of work he has given during this time. So it's not equal. So and he didn't work harder. He just had the chance. He was lucky to be at that moment at that time. So, and you can't explain this with the being hard worker or anything, or being smart. No, just sometimes it's right people, right place, right moment.
Oh, it really, luck plays such a huge part of things. That, as you say, it's so many components. You were the right person at the right time.
Yes. And for this, what I think also is as an advice, you should always try to do multiple things, not have all your eggs on the same basket. It's important. So even in your company or in your business, try to have multiple products, multiple sources of income. Maybe one of them will be a success and take you to the next stage. So,
no, absolutely, to have some sense of security that you're not putting everything into one thing and it doesn't succeed, and then you're in big trouble, essentially.
Sure. Yes.
Do you have any other advice for early stage startup funders?
Adapt to the market. I think it's important to be to listen a lot of listen to the market, to your customers. Don't try to sell your product, but instead of that, sell a solution to your customer's problem. So be really open to discuss with them, to change your product, to change your roadmap, to change everything. I think it's important, and try to be with try to have a good people around you, skilled people, smart people. It will really help you to advance.
Can you give me an example of how you could adapt to the market? Maybe something that you have done yourself or something else?
Yes. So, for example, on our side, at the start, we wanted to create this platform to connect buyers and sellers. But when we started, we didn't had any kind of content. because at the start you need to have some RFQs, some requests for quotations from clients, so that the providers can connect and find some potential project to answer. So at the start we don't have that. What we did, we adapted. We did ourselves search for public tenders, public requests for quotations, public projects that were available on some companies' websites. So we pivoted from being just a platform to connect to sellers and providers to a data company that look for data about projects that are available online, gather them, categorize them, and put them into our database so that our client can access them. So this is kind of pivot that we had.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a big difference for sure. That it's quite a lot of pivoting to change the idea from what it initially was to what it is today.
Yes, for sure, but that's the market also. So, if we didn't that, we wouldn't succeed, or we wouldn't be here right now.
No, yeah, that's true for sure. Is there anything that you feel like in the beginning of your career that you wish that you had accessible to you that you didn't have?
Yes, I think, for example, I think money is important to grow quickly. So have funding available. I think it's important. Also, I think what is important is to be trained on multiple aspects. For example, for me, it was on digital marketing. So I had to train myself alone to understand concept, how it works. And I think right now, for any entrepreneur that is on the web, that sells goods online, for example, or services online, it's really important to know basics of digital marketing. So that's important. Third thing is, for example, also everything related to the cloud. For example, when we started, we didn't had similar. So there was AWS, Amazon Web Services, but it was not as rich as it is right now. So, for example, it can really help you go from zero to your MVP in a few weeks. Develop any kind of functionalities very quickly. Use machine learning quickly. It can really help you on your creating your product and developing it. So we did the pivot during our time from creating everything ourselves to using services from the cloud. So I wish I had started directly with the cloud services.
Yeah. How did you manage to learn digital marketing by yourself?
Well, it's mainly my self motivation because you have to. I think it's the main source of your prospect. How you can bring prospect to your platform, digital marketing. So I had to do this, and I took online training on platforms that are well known, and it really helped me, especially because I had to apply this directly on the business. And so that helped me upskill really quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. I can imagine. And also like taking the skills that you have learned, implemented it directly on your business, and then see which strategies work and which are not as great.
Yes.
And yeah, do you, before we wrap up, do you have anything that you would like to add?
I think we talked about many things. I don't have anything else to add. But in wrap up, just main message is to adapt to the market and don't try to oversell your product. That's really important, I think, for me. And don't put all your eggs on the same basket. So try even at your personal level. I don't talk about your business because every business is specific. But at your personal level, try to not rely only on your company. Maybe have multiple sources of income at the start. So before it's really a success, so you can focus only on that on your company. But it's important for you and for your financial security and your work-life balance.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a good note to end it on. That was a good summary of what we talked about. So thank you so much for today.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking with you.
You've been listening to European Startup Universe Talks. If you want to know more about us, go to thestartupuniverse.org and follow us on social media.